All right, traders. So hopefully my mic doesn't cut out like it did yesterday. Not that really anybody's watching these videos too much nowadays anyway, but theme of the week, red. It's been bloody. Um Utu got us today. We'll go ahead and jump right into that. Let me just throw a chart up and down here just to keep an eye on it. Well, actually, we'll go over Dada first. This was the first trade we took. Pretty standard pre-market. Had the high here. Nice extension away from it. Was hoping for the bigger move up through 1450. Started a little bit early. Actually missed my ad when it tried to make a decent move up through 1450 here. It got to. We actually missed our take profit as well by like 4 cents or 5 cents, and then it shot back up. Was obviously looking for the bigger move up into like the 1470s for an ad. Didn't get that. So it came down, and I just left our first order out there. So what was it? 26. So I missed this by 5 cents because I just left my order there from the first time. And the reason I left my order there is because I was dealing with Futu. And Futu, as you can see, if we scroll out, previous highs all the way down here, 49.50, made a pretty good move up through 50. I thought for sure we would at least get a retest of 50, which we did. We were in at 50.20. I was looking for the breakthrough 50. I don't remember where I had my order. I want to say like 49.88 or something like that, probably. But we got the exact test. And on top of that, the spread was pretty bad. So really no chance to get out on that one. So it continued higher, got to add up towards 50.72, that 20 cents through that I always like to look for. And it immediately kept going. So around 51.20, I did the 112. We got, we started with 100 on this, right? Or no, 50, 50, 100. And it says, oh, that's right, because we added first. So we didn't take profit yet. It actually went up a bit more. We added 200 more. So we had 400 shares here. We took half there on that pullback. And I had another 100 sitting above 50.50 here, but it only got to 50.84. So it would have been nice had we got that fill down there, because I think the rest of this trade would have been a little bit easier to tackle. Goes back up. We actually end up adding that 200 back that we took off. It did drop temporarily, but our average obviously didn't get high enough for that little bit of a drop. It continues higher, makes a really nice move. And this time I wait for the jiggle, and we actually end up doubling down again. So we had 400. So we had 800 total shares here. And it tried to pull back 52.01. I don't remember exactly where our average was at this point. I'd have to go back and check. But unfortunately, it didn't matter because this thing decided to keep going, and it actually ended up hitting on this spike here, 53.17. It hit our max loss indicator, which is $1,000, and it tried to close it out right away, but it actually ended up canceling all my orders and then finally getting the fill as it actually came down a little bit. I actually ended up down, I think it was like 966 or something like that. Again, I don't know the exact numbers. But anyways, it goes back up and it tries that 53.17 again. It only went 2 cents above. So I actually ended up jumping back in 500 shares. And as I did that, it started hovering around here. And I immediately put my stop at high of day. I wasn't letting this obviously go any further against me, and it wouldn't have been able to anyway. We got in those at 53.14. I think even that little jump up to 53.20 would have been, yeah, $60. It would have put me over the 1,000 anyway. So I actually went in and changed the 1,000 to 1,500 like a moron. But I wanted to give this room to at least let me stop out at high of day. So by doing that, I realized I had a little bit more wiggle room. Once I realized it looked like it was going to fail, I actually added back those other 300 shares that I had over here to try to get my full position back. So as it was dropping, I ended up trying to manage this position a little bit. Took some off here, which was, if I do the math, I want to say it was probably half of it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I took 400 here. And if we get rid of this line, took another 200 here. So we were down with 200. Added those back up here. Took 100 off here. I'm assuming another 100 here. Yeah. And I was looking for 51.50 to get a little bit more off. And as you can see, it ended up coming up and stopping us out. And my average was 53.08 at this point. So it went up to, what did this end up getting up to? 53.17. So even if I left it at break even, it was still going to stop us out, which is a bit frustrating. It went pretty much right up to the highs there, 53.34. Um, and yeah, pretty frustrated overall. If it would have just kept going like it ended up doing anyway, we would have actually almost ended up break even today, which would have been nice because of the RAX. This made a nice move. This one I was actually really frustrated because I was like watching Futu. I don't even remember what it was doing at this time, but I ended up missing the ad here. I was obviously looking for it to go through 50, but it ran into obviously a pretty hard seller, and I ended up missing an ad here, which then I left my take profit out like I did from before, and ended up taking it off 200 of the 300 I had. So I still had 100 on, added back the 100 here, took off the full amount here. So this was all one trade. And then this was a whole new trade where I actually started here because it looked like it didn't want to go higher. I was trying to hit this on the way down for 100. And then when it spiked up, I hit it for 200, bringing our average pretty much right to 5. So I ended up taking 100 off at 5, pretty much my average. I think it was 501. And then I tried to let the rest ride, so I took 100, then 50, and then I let the other 50 kind of ride. Then I ended up taking 25 of that 50 off here, and then I actually added back 25 and then another 50 with the stop at 402, I believe it was. I was basically saying if it wants to reject 4, pretty good. Awesome. If not, I'll just take it right off. And my average after adding these was like 417. So I wasn't going to be red on these. I was just adding to hopefully a winner. Then I actually had to go to my TSA pre-check appointment. So as I left, I put a stop in after it was right. It was like right here. And I just said, if it wants to go back above this little area, which was 75, that's fine. So I put a range order in for a stop of 75 and a take profit of 55. And it ended up coming and getting the 55 first. So as you can see, this did continue to go down a little bit, but that brought me back a little bit. I was down 1,000. I ended up down 318. So I made $700 from the top of Futu. So I guess in a way that's a good thing. But looking at Futu, had I just been able to stay in this and played this a little bit better, possibly, it would have worked out anyway. So that's more of the frustrating thing. Futu, I played pretty bad. Neon, I played pretty bad. Bigger company, probably much too much size to start this with, and ended up grinding me out. Neon, I just added too quickly. It wasn't that it was too big of a company. I just messed that trade up pretty bad, and I paid the price on that one too, much more than I did today. So just a rough week, 3-day weekend to kind of get resettled, and we'll go from there. So that's all I got. Like and subscribe if you appreciate the transparency, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.